Hello and welcome. In this video, we are going to explore the student's t-distribution. This is a fundamental concept in statistics and probability, specifically designed for situations where the population's standard deviation, sigma, is unknown. So, what is the problem we are trying to solve? In many real-world scenarios, we want to make inferences about a population, but we don't know the population's true standard deviation, represented by the Greek letter sigma. Instead, we only have the sample standard deviation, represented by the letter s, which we calculate from our data. This adds uncertainty to our estimates. This is where the student's t-distribution comes in. It is a probability distribution used to estimate population parameters when the sample size is small and sigma is unknown. Visually, it looks very similar to a normal bell curve, but it is flatter and wider. A critical concept here is degrees of freedom. Often abbreviated as df, it is calculated as the sample size, n minus 1. The degrees of freedom determine the specific shape of the t-distribution. Unlike the standard normal distribution, which is fixed, the t-distribution changes based on how much data you have. Let's look at them side by side. The blue line represents the standard normal distribution, or z-distribution. The yellow line is a t-distribution with only 2 degrees of freedom. Notice how the yellow t-curve is shorter at the peak and sits higher up at the ends. Statisticians call this property having fat tails or heavy tails. Because the tails are higher, there is more area under them. This represents a higher probability of getting values far away from the mean, reflecting the extra uncertainty we have because we are estimating sigma using a small sample. Think of the t-distribution not as a single curve, but as a family of curves. When the degrees of freedom are low, like 1, the curve is very short and flat. As the degrees of freedom increase to 5, the peak grows taller. By the time we reach 30 degrees of freedom, it looks almost identical to a normal curve. This brings us to the principle of convergence. As your sample size n gets larger and larger, approaching infinity, the t-distribution converges to the standard normal distribution. In practice, once your sample size is greater than 30, the difference between the two is often negligible. So, when should you use a t-test versus a z-test? Follow this simple logic. First, do you know the population's standard deviation? If no, look at your sample size. If it is small, generally less than 30, you must use the t-test. If your sample is large, you can technically use the z-test as an approximation, but modern software defaults to t-tests for accuracy. To summarize, use the t-distribution when the population's standard deviation is unknown. Remember that its shape is controlled by the degrees of freedom, which is n-1. It is flatter with heavier tails to account for uncertainty in small samples, and it eventually looks just like a normal distribution as your sample size grows.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.